Zenny that I just wear every day because these are too stylish for me to wear every day.
Yeah, I have my good pair, like my hoodies. I have my dress hoodies and I have my regular hoodies.
You gotta have.
This is not a dress hoodie. I'm not.
I tell my wife, I'm like, I got dress sweatpants and I got regular sweatpants. She's like, do you have those things? I'm like,
what do you mean you got dress pants? Like,
yes.
One of them I bought from Against All Odds in 2002. They were $87. They weigh 90 pounds. They're the best sweatpants I own.
They have multiple pockets.
They have so many pockets, and they are held up by what could only be described as God, a deity. Because
facts,
I have no idea how. I don't have the hips for them. They're just like, this is where we are.
This is it.
Wherever you put them,
right
they're geo-locked.
We standing on
business.
business.
If I decide I want to ride them low, they'll just be like, this is where we stay.
Yeah. Beautiful
the Mecca fucking
beautiful sweatpants. And then you have the other ones where you put them on, and when it's cold outside, you feel everything. Oh, yeah. Then you have those.
Yeah, those we call the champs
pajamas.
The champion.
Exactly, the champion brand.
The ones you get at like Kmart or Dick's Sporting Goods. Those are the ones that are like, well, yeah, that's not real.
Those are the 3 for 30s. That's what those sweatpants are.
Oh, yeah. 3 for 30. Wow, you're balling out. That's a 3 for 10.
That's fair. Listen, I might have missed that sale. My bad.
Starter, like remember starter caps? Like the starters, like the starter, like they're sweats, but they're not. They're supposed to be like wear them over your jersey or your gear or whatever.
They're 100% the thinnest sweatpants that you will ever see in life.
Yeah. I played basketball, soccer, and lacrosse in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So we invested real early, we being my family, in the tearaways.
Oh.
You know, the ones with, boom. Here's the problem with those things. They weighed a shit ton because of all the fucking clasp and shit.
Yeah.
They weighed a
buttons,
lot.
Man.
Right?
The buttons had some
They
weight to
were
them.
completely useless at keeping my legs warm. They had no like there were the holes were like this fucking big in between the buttons.
Between the buttons.
Yeah. Yeah, like if I was sweaty and didn't shower after a game, that was cooking, and it was steeping too, like through the whole like oh man, no buenos there.
Good times.
Oh man, high school was so serious. I recently watched. I wasn't gonna watch 13 Reasons Why because
I've never watched that show. By the way,
I'm not a 13-year-old girl. Nor do I sing Taylor Swift in the shower. I sing Taylor Swift in the car. In the shower, I sing other songs. Not the same. So, like, I don't really care about how hard high school is. But I did watch a 30-minute recap on the entire series. Because there's a channel I watch called, like, Recap and Chill. And sometimes they just talk about an entire series. Like some shows, like sometimes they'll be like, hey, 6 seasons of Lost in 39 minutes. I'm like, well, I really don't want to rewatch Lost, or I don't know if I want to rewatch Lost or whatever.
Yeah.
Let me watch this recap. So I was like, I've never seen 13 Reasons Why. I've heard it was good. And then I watched this recap and was like, no fucking interest. None whatsoever. Thank God for this recap. This guy saved me countless hours of my life to not have to watch this show. Anyway, I'm going to rewatch the same thing I always rewatch over and over again. My life will continue to be wasted, just in a different way. How was your week, Goof?
You know, it was good, man. We had, so this week was parent-teacher conference week. So today was ginormously busy for no reason whatsoever. I haven't gone to the last few because I had a string of like maybe 3, 4 where I was the only one going. So the last 2, I was like, okay, I'm not going to these. And she was like, I get it, I'll go. So she went to this one today, but I had the kids at home and I was trying to catch up on all my shows, man. I had already watched Daredevil, but I still wanted to see more things on Daredevil.
Monday or Tuesday, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I wanted to see more.
Like immediately.
Yeah, so I wanted more. So then I had to catch up on Invincible. So it was overall crazy day. But the week though, man, listen, so many comics that came out
Yeah.
over the past, not
Yeah,
even
this is a
this
big
week, but
week.
like the weeks before that and the week before that. So I'm catching up on that. So I was reading this New Gods comic. So I'm fairly, you know me, I'm fairly different to DC at times. So I'm not sure entirely about like their new stories, but it was pretty good. No, it was good. It was good.
I'm willing to believe you.
Yeah, it was good,
There are
man.
some aspects of DC I detest. New Gods fall into that, like,
The way this is written though is that they found a way to ground the gods and not make them just this crazy type of deity, which is exciting, right? Being able to see them do that. But then also, Kirby was the one that initially started New Gods, right? Back like
New
70s
Gods
or
was
whatever.
Kirby's fuck you to Marvel.
Yeah.
He
So
created New Gods because he was just sick of, like, he actually, the creation of the New Gods was them killing, like, Thor,
mhm.
Ares, like them killing pretty much all of the gods that were popular in Marvel and
I
then
mean, they basically
becoming the
call
new
it
gods.
the Ragnarok, whatever you want to call it, which is basically
Yeah.
just say
Ragnarok, yeah.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, it was just lazy shit.
Yeah,
And it was, but
right.
again, you
So,
also have to remember Jack Kirby was a brilliant artist,
yep.
right? And a petulant, shitty man, much like Stan Lee. Great businessman, petulant, shitty man. Even though if you watch I think recently they came out with like a documentary about like the last few years of Stan Lee's life where he was just straight fucking elder abuse the entire time.
Oof.
And it's like, oh, you don't like to see it, man.
Yep.
But then again, he was kind of a cunt to a lot of people for his entire life. So it's like, maybe you can't stop the invisible hand of fate of karma. Like maybe he earned it. I don't know. I hate to see it. I don't support it. But like at the same time, it fucking happened.
I believe in. Well, no. I'm gonna leave
I
that
don't
there.
like. I like my hero worship fictional. Does that make sense?
I understand you.
I
You.
like
Yeah.
I like to get behind stories in which the characters aren't real. They're either like extrapolations of reality or like devices used to tell stuff.
Okay.
The second, like, I hated the question like growing up, like in grammar school and shit, like who's your hero? Because I'd be like, oh, it's absolutely Superman. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's not even like you can I like a lot of heroes, but it's absolutely fucking Superman. Like, no, but who's your real life hero? I'm like, still Superman.
Superman.
And I got looks. Like, no, like he's fake, right? I'm like, no, he's fictional. Again, like 5th grade me, because I was a wrestling fan too. Like, no, you have to understand the difference between fake, real, scripted. Like, they're not. The wrestling isn't fake. They're just not really fighting the same way that, like, in a movie, Tom Holland isn't swinging around it. Like, it's all fake.
But he is.
But he's acting.
What are these lies that have been sold?
Yeah. So I don't have real life heroes because the second you idolize someone in reality, you take them out of the fact that they're fucking human and therefore garbage. And then you get invariably let down. Like, there are no heroes. Like, there are none. No one's a hero.
So like, I disagree because I do believe that there are certain people that have morals or standards and then execute when it. So this is the difference. For me, there's fictional heroes.
Yes.
But then there are people who I say, no, that's a model to follow. That's what I would say to me is a modernized hero or a life hero per se, right? That's how I would categorize that. So if that question is posed to me, I don't really remember that question being asked, but if a question was posed to me, that's how I would say, like, yeah, I would consider my father, whatever, right? I would consider, my a
My
friend that
priest,
a
maybe
mentor,
like
like
your
that I
mentor, your
know,
priest in your parish,
right?
yeah, like
Yeah,
my
but like
coach, like
from an idolization perspective, that's too far. Like I don't
the
idolize my father.
the
You know what I mean?
issue
Like
is no,
that's
yeah, well,
that's me.
the issue is
So
when you build a house of cards and set someone on top of them, it doesn't take much to topple the house.
mhm,
And then you have to face a reality that I don't believe most humans are capable of facing, which is how do I rebuild a house I've spent so long building it? And most
okay,
people don't. Most,
mhm,
if I, like, when I say this all the time, and I say it, like, I do mean all the time. Like, it comes up a lot in my general conversations.
okay,
I say, like, Elon Musk isn't the richest man in the world. He might not even be the richest man in America, but that I don't know for sure. The richest man in the world has always been and will always be whoever the current pope is. Richest man in the world.
mm,
Hands down, no questions asked. Can prove it. Like, in terms of what wealth means, pope, richest man in the world. When he
okay,
dies, next pope's going to be the richest man in the world. King of Vatican City, CEO of the Holy See. The Holy See being the government like the corporation of the Holy Church of the
yeah,
Catholic Church and all of its subsidiaries. Like, no, richest man in the world. Then the next 20 or 30 live in the Middle East on oil fields. These are the richest
okay,
men in the world. These are the people who will go to like BMW and say, "Hi, I need you to make this car in this color." And then BMW will make that car in this color for him. Not like
okay,
he'll buy a BMW and have someone change it. Like that's a degree of power that the money behind is insane. But like that's a conversation I have, like, and people are like, no, he's the richest person in the world. Like, okay, but I could prove to you he's not. Like with real numbers, like actually doesn't matter because you've already built this house of cards up to believe something that any amount of proof, either you have to reconcile this with new information, which is like what we in theory should be doing as people, like growing
mhm,
and learning and evolving, or you could reject reality and replace it with something more comfortable to yourself, which is no, this person's full of shit. Like, no, this person can't be right because then I'm wrong and I don't want to be wrong. This is how most people work. So when it comes to hero shit, I like my heroes fictional because you can't ever be perfect. You can aspire to perfection, but you can never be perfect. And the second you see a glint, you know, shit. Like, okay, they're not perfect,
okay. I
That's
get what
where
you're
I
saying.
fall on that. That
I
said,
get what you're saying. Mhm.
Daredevil was pretty fucking good.
Yeah, listen. Great segue, by the
No, that's the New Gods thing.
way.
No, like we were talking about the New Gods and everything. Like, it's great to look at people like Jack Kirby, like
Yep.
Stan Lee, in other regards, like Steve Jobs, and look at them as very impactful, very influential, and very relevant people.
Mhm.
But if they're your heroes, please understand that something in your life isn't going right. Like, figure out what it is. You can fix it. I promise you can. But
Yeah, I
these are
mean,
not heroes. So, like,
you gotta be able to separate the work from the
yeah,
person in a
the
sense.
art from the
I
artist.
mean, like
I love Cthulhu
the art,
mythos.
right?
L. Ron Hubbard was an absolute fucking racist. Like, unequivocal racist. Cthulhu shit's hilarious, though. I love that shit.
Mm.
So you got to be like, okay, well, not L. Ron Hubbard. God, what the fuck's his name? Who made the Cthulhu mythos? L. Ron Hubbard did Scientology, and he chose
Oh,
L.
what the hell?
Ron because of the Cthulhu guy. Oh God, what the fuck was his name? I'm looking it up.
I can't tell you that. That would be a Google
H.P.
situation for me.
Lovecraft. H.P.
Okay.
Lovecraft. Yeah, notorious racist. So was L. Ron Hubbard, so I wasn't wrong there. But like, okay, fuck that guy. Anyway, he wrote this story that was really cool. End the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now we can go to Daredevil.
All right. So Daredevil. I felt things. That's all I can say. That's where I'll start. I felt things. It was a good emotional episode, and some good stakes were set up. Once again, man, I think what I'm enjoying about this more than anything is like we're getting to see Matt Murdock be a lawyer, and that is incredibly exciting to me.
I have a point to that. Please continue.
That is
just remember
that is incredibly exciting to me because yeah, we want to see the action. Yeah, we want to see, and we know that we're gonna get it. Like it's coming. Like it's going to happen. It's not even just gonna be him. It's gonna be way more than that. Like it's happening. But with that being said, damn, like I enjoyed just being able to see him active in a courtroom. And I go back to this again. What is that? Jelly beans?
Okay, no. I just wanted to see if the camera would pick it up. These are jelly beans, yes. It's scripture candy.
Scripture candy?
Reaching the world one piece at a time. There's a prayer on the jelly beans. Do you want to hear the prayer?
I'm curious now. Yeah.
Thank you, Lord, for these jelly beans that remind me of your love.
Okay.
I started with a sinful heart, keeping me from you above.
Okay.
The sinful heart is the black jelly bean. All the colors of the jelly beans are represented.
Wow.
But you have to remember, black jelly beans are licorice, and if sin doesn't taste like licorice, I don't know what it could possibly taste like, because licorice is dog shit.
Okay.
Red represents the blood you shed to provide salvation free.
Okay.
White shows the cleansing of my sin as I put my faith in thee.
Okay.
Yellow is for heaven above, my new home I'll have someday. You're that's a lot for jelly beans to aspire to. I'm just gonna. Green is for
I'm liking this so far.
As I read your word and pray.
Okay.
Fine. Purple shows you are king of all, the one I chose to obey.
Royalty. Okay.
Thank you, Lord, for these jelly beans. They mean more than words can say. Now,
I understand the message. It's just weird to package that into jelly beans. That's
yeah, right? Like, so I get all my junk food. We're not going to talk about anything today. We're just going to go off on all tangents. I get all my junk food from like Dollar General or Dollar Tree. Like I always go to dollar stores for my junk food. Because like very rarely do I care. Like the difference between name brand popcorn and non-name brand popcorn is I don't give a shit. Like, you know, like who cares? I'm not going to make I'll just get a giant bag of popcorn. And when the bag is like twice the size of my fucking head, and it's $1.25. I'm like, yeah, let's just take this. Like, whatever.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah.
I just want popcorn. Like, I don't care if it's good. The things I don't fuck around with are like Doritos. Like, I always get actual Doritos and Oreo cookies. Because Oreos rule. Everything else, I'm like, I don't care. So I picked this up, and I wasn't paying attention. There was just jelly beans, and I saw this one, and I was like, this looks like the biggest one. And I grabbed it, and I got in the car, and right on the top, it was Jesus. And I was like, we may have made a weird purchase today. And then every single one of these little packets of jelly beans in the big bag, which I had since thrown out, have this little poem prayer. And I'm like, you know what? Cool. Because the jelly beans aren't bad. Like, that's the key. If these were shitty jelly beans,
the message is fine. It's just really strange to see it on a jelly bean. But I understand.
Yeah, but I'm like, I have no problem with this. It's not making fun of reality. Like, and anyone who likes it, I'm like, that's great for you. But like, I'm here for the jelly beans, and the jelly beans deliver. So if you happen, then they're called Scripture Candy. You can Google it if you guys want. I'm sure they make it other places. I'm trying to find any other information about this. There's no. Oh, Birmingham, Alabama. But underneath
That's where it's manufactured.
underneath. This is fucking no. So it says Scripture Candy Inc., Adamsville Industrial Parkway, Birmingham, Alabama, and underneath that it says product of Pakistan. So
Okay.
I've officially given up on trying to understand what tariffs mean anymore.
Mm.
I have no idea. Back to Daredevil.
That's not even the place I'm ready to go. Yeah, back to Daredevil. So, yeah, like I said, I've been enjoying the show. I mean, the fact that they've been doing this whole thing where they are 100% having him be a lawyer. So it had enough action going on. Like it wasn't like full on, but it was a nice continuation here of the story. Um, the dude who played Hector, once again, good to just see him on screen. Glad that there was something that he was in that I could watch. Before once again, he passed and all that. So that was good. To be able to kind of see that. I am curious though. There's like some plot stuff. Are we gonna talk about that stuff here, or do you want to just talk about general feelings first?
No. All in.
Okay.
Go nuts.
All right. So there's
It's been
some
out
plot
since
things.
like Monday night. Fuck you guys. Watch it.
Yeah, there's some plot things that I'm kind of curious about right now. So what I was a little confused about is I understand that we're trying to follow Devil's Reign a little bit, right? I know that this is inspired by Devil's Reign, but I'm like
This is basically
wondering,
shot for shot from that courtroom scene.
yeah, and what I'm curious about here is at some point in time, Kingpin's supposed to lose his memory, is he not? Like, is that gonna come into play? Because he does lose his memory, doesn't he?
In a comic?
Yeah, like he forgets who Daredevil is. That Matt Murdock is Daredevil.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
And I just think that they would add
it just feels cheap.
They
should have done it already.
Would have added a little bit more. Yeah, you're right. It should have been from the very beginning. Like he should have not known from the very beginning.
Echo should have been the reason he forgot that.
That.
Like if they were gonna do that, now it's a day late and $1 short. I don't really want them to go that way. I don't think they're going to either. But
I do like that he's all in on it though. Like he's 100% all in on the anti-vigilante thing. Like I love the fact that he's all in on that.
They're the only ones who could stop him.
Right, but then I also wonder. I'm like, okay, so who are we getting as vigilantes in this series? Like we know that we got Daredevil. We know that Punisher is going to be around because now, especially now that you've basically framed him as being the one that took out Hector.
We all know that's not Punisher, right? Like, we all know that wasn't Frank Castle.
Was that a question?
Motherfucker.
Was that a question?
Motherfucker.
No, seriously, like, people thought that?
People who watch Marvel shit, ourselves included, we're not smart.
That's fair.
We're not bright. We're not clever. We're a bunch of pennies in a drawer full of nickels. Like, what are we doing? We stand out in our stupidity and uselessness. Like, that wasn't Punisher.
Not even close.
Don't pretend it's a spoiler.
Yeah, it's not close. Yeah, it was
because there's no way the Punisher would have worked for Hector? Kingpin again, ever.
Yeah, like at all. Also, why would he off Hector? of all people, like why would?
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't have done that. Also, I understand this was a storyline thing that they wanted to go with, but I was also just like, fam, why did y'all put this man back in the suit? Y'all, we knew this was coming. As soon as he put the suit on, I was like, oh.
Second I heard.
So how does he die?
I heard not guilty.
What's my question?
Like, he dead.
How does this man go outside ever again? Like how does he ever make it back outside? And then he went outside in the suit.
Also, that Mystic Amulet was kind of sleeping on the job there, wasn't it?
Wasn't it?
Give him the power
Right?
of a tiger. Didn't have the night eyesight. Didn't have the fucking
Nah.
reflexes.
Nope.
Just got kablammed.
Didn't see that coming, brother.
Just
Also,
immediate blah.
It's not the amulet just like out in the street now. Like it's just
Only
there.
works with his bloodline. They mentioned that I think in the episode.
Now, but yeah, I understand that, but it's still there, right? Like somebody had to have taken that up and moved it somewhere. It may only work with his bloodline, but who's to say that somebody else from his bloodline won't be able to pick that thing back up? Obviously,
what?
You know
Like
what
his,
I'm hinting towards.
His niece,
who is incredibly young, by the way, in this show. So does she like just
I believe
never?
Canonically, his wife takes over for a while, and then it passes to his niece.
Passes to his niece. Okay.
And I don't know if that's what's gonna fucking happen, but I don't think some 11-year-old fucking kid's gonna become the new.
Yeah, because I was like
16, I'd buy. 16, I'll buy.
As soon as I saw her, I was like, so she doesn't become the white tiger in this show. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Too young. Okay, got it. But yeah, as soon as we saw a not guilty verdict, I was like, oh man, this is his last episode. This is his last episode. Is it not? Okay. So now we know that this is gonna basically bring out Punisher. So I would expect that we'll probably see him next episode. My thoughts, most likely. We probably see whether he is throughout the entirety of the episode or he shows up towards the very end. We got to see him at some point in time in the next episode. But then the question, he also knows who Matt Murdock is too, right? From the series, right? He knows. Does he know Matt Murdock? Oh, he doesn't. He just knows Daredevil. He doesn't know Matt.
He knows Matt Murdock because Matt Murdock was his defense.
But he doesn't know that Matt Murdock is the Daredevil.
He's not. Yeah. Punisher's not stupid. He might have been able to be like.
Right. Fair.
I'm pretty sure that I've seen that. I've heard that voice before.
Mm-hmm.
And he might kind of know. He might.
But
I don't think
verified.
He knows. I think he suspects. He might be like.
Yeah. Like he hasn't been able to verify it legitimately, but he knows something's up. Like he has to have known. All right, so what are your thoughts overall? I have more to explore, but what are your thoughts? I don't want to dominate this. My thoughts.
I want you to. No.
Yeah. No, we ain't talking about that yet. That we'll talk about soon.
I like the pacing right now.
Yeah.
Because we're 3 episodes in and I feel like a lot has happened and nothing has happened at the same time, but in a good way.
Yep.
You know, like I feel like, oh wow, whoa, fuck, shit. Like Daredevil is quickly understanding. Sorry, Matt is quickly understanding that he can't not be Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
He can't not. He can't not. It's not possible.
Yeah.
I like when the cop came in. He's like, "You don't gotta wear those inside." And then Matt was like, "Oh, who's that? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't see." "Oh, Officer Shitbag. Fuck you. I'm gonna break your fucking nose again." How he survived?
So his partner that he came in is clearly dead. Like he's dead. Because the way that his head slammed off that table, he has to be dead.
They're all dead. That guy's dead. He's just a ghost.
Yeah,
he's Ghost Rider. No,
that's an interesting thought.
Right. So a couple things that stood out to me.
Okay.
The first of the things that stood out to me is that Matt is becoming a shittier lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Matt would have gotten fucking absolutely fucking destroyed by, like, he would have been sanctioned for the shit he pulled with the white tiger fucking. Like, there's no,
Yeah,
no.
100%.
Does it make for good television? Yes.
Yes.
But but here's the thing. This isn't like me talking about it. Like, oh, it's not really following the law and shit. No, no, no. They address it in the show. Like, there has to be a reason. You know what I mean? There has to be a reason. They're like, all right. What if Daredevil goes out of his way to make sure no one can do it, and then 180s in the middle of the fucking story, knowing that all he had to do as a lawyer, as a good lawyer, was tell the judge, because my witness decided to be a cuck, I would like to change my stance on whether or not his vigilante, like, he could just say that and the judge would be like, so you no longer are opposed to it? Yes. Well, then fine, it's allowed. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's totally fine, but he didn't. And the way he did it was completely for shock value.
Mm-hmm.
And that, he is so fucked. But that's not a mistake Matt Murdock makes. That's a mistake Matt Murdock itching to punch people in the fucking face makes. Like,
that's the issue that Daredevil would make.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, I wouldn't have made this mistake if I was punching people in the face all the time. So I think Matt is losing his fucking mind. I think we're seeing him lose his mind. And I think when the next episode starts and he finds out what he knew, you put that mask on again, it's not going to be good for you.
Yep.
When he finds out that Ayala got.
Yep.
And there were no witnesses. There were no witnesses. Someone's going to find his body with a bullet and gunshot residue on his fucking skull.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be like, oh man, he was assassinated. I don't think we get Punisher next episode.
I think at the end of it, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a very last scene. That's where we see him.
I think we get Matt dealing with this shit. Wilson, Fisk being a fucking monster. Because Fisk is already, dude, Fisk. Oh, he's doing great. I fucking love Vincent D'Onofrio.
He's 100%
talking to the daughter of the guy he killed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, talking to the, like, things go wrong. I should know. I was falsely imprisoned twice.
That piece of crap. I hate to love him. I love to hate him. Is that what the phrase is? I love to hate him. That's where I feel.
But he's white knuckling it. You could tell.
Mm-hmm.
He sent his guy to talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That scene, he's talking to the tracksuit mafia, and he's like, "Where's the boss?" He's like, "I'm here for him, and I'm telling you what has to be done." The new Wesley.
Yeah, I see him.
That's it. And he's like, "I don't work for the mayor." I was just like, motherfuckers, do you not know who the Kingpin is? He took a dude's head off. Hawkeye was scared shitless of it. Dude, because I just finished rewatching the Hawkeye.
They've constantly keep on pinning over to his knuckles on purpose. I'm like, oh, so he's still kingpinning. Got it. Got it, fam. All right, cool. Those fresh wounds, got it.
He gonna hurt someone.
Mm-hmm. If he hasn't already, yeah.
He's gonna flip out.
At some point in time, he does, 100%, and he won't do it. Most likely, of course, in public yet.
It's a lot. I
when
don't
it
think
happens,
I don't think we're gonna get Punisher maybe in the last scene of this one, but I think we're about one episode. I think we have one episode between this and us seeing Joe Bernthal again. Because one, I don't think we're done with Bullseye.
So, well, yeah, you're right. Because I forgot that he literally just went into prison.
Maybe
because we didn't actually see him go into prison either.
Also, what you think he's behaving in prison?
100% not. Look at how this man came back to life. You kidding me?
You think this dude's in prison just minding his business?
100%.
This dude ricocheted a fucking paper football.
I watched it again last night or 2 nights ago, and I was like, he really just like bounced this crap off.
This dude made a paper football and killed someone 17 cells over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not doing okay.
Yeah.
Like,
oh man,
you gotta put him in the
great.
raft. That's where Bullseye belongs. Right next to who's in the raft right now? Technically the President of the United States. Technically the President of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that happened. It's my current understanding that the President of the United States can't go to jail. That was the least believable part of this movie. What? The President of the United States, he can't go to jail.
They don't work with these rules.
He's a giant red rage monster. Red, orange, it doesn't matter. He can't go to jail.
But it's not regular jail. Does that count? It's not regular jail. Wild.
I don't know who's in the raft right now. I gotta assume Abomination's in the raft. I think Zemo's in Wakanda. No,
I think he's in the raft.
He's in the raft.
Yeah.
Oh man,
they mentioned that they took him to the raft.
Yeah. Oh no. So we got Zemo, Red Hulk, Leader. Leader's in the raft.
Leader's in the raft. Yep.
Man, there's a lot of people in the raft that are really smart.
Yeah.
And really crimey. Who's guarding the raft?
You know, it's a very good question. How are they keeping everybody locked down in the raft that's currently in the raft? It's a very interesting question. Do they have collars on? Like, do they have inhibitors on? I've never seen that.
Well, like, most of the people are just people.
Except for the giant rage monster that's inside.
We don't know if he's still a giant rage monster. We don't know. It might have worked it out. We have no idea. But you put the dude who planned a fucking coup from like a basement in a room where he has nothing but time to think. Like, he gonna figure something.
Yeah.
Old shithead Leader coming out.
Hey, listen, he had his moments. He had some good things going for him there.
I'm getting a vibe that Matt's girlfriend is up to something.
Same.
I don't know if it's super sinister, but like, I'm getting a vibe from her. First of all, I love the scene where Matt's cooking. I'm like, he's blind.
Yeah.
He's blind. Like, I'm not saying blind people can't cook.
It's just more so the simple fact that, like, no, there's some irony here in this. Also, I would like to point out how they keep going to counseling, and I'm waiting for the ball to drop. Like, I'm waiting for the ball to drop as to why they're even here in the first place.
I've told you, I'm convinced. Maybe I didn't tell you. I don't remember. I'm convinced that Kingpin picked her and to go into counseling because she's dating Matt Murdock.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's like, I got to keep eyes on this motherfucker.
Keep tabs on him.
And then next time I talk to him, whether it be as Matt Murdock or as the Daredevil, I'm gonna be like, your girlfriend, great
Yeah.
tits, just soft hands. How do you know? I'm seeing her.
Oh boy.
Also, like, I didn't like Echo. And the reason I didn't like Echo is because it's
There's no
stupid and sucked.
there's no reasons. You don't need to give any reasons.
Because it was bad and not good. That's why. But like, they went through it to like destroy the Kingpin.
Yeah.
Like, and then like he's like, it took me months to get back together. And I'm like, my guy.
You don't believe him?
My guy.
You don't see how?
My guy. Months.
Yeah, you don't understand? you didn't. You
and what happened in those months? Stuff, things, and stuff.
Things. I can't. I can't talk about it.
I like James Gandolfini's kid just playing the fucking, just out of shape, fucking, just fat.
Just does
fucking,
whatever.
What's it called, bro? There. Like he's like a real fucking crypto bro energy. Like,
I like him. He's fun.
I need you to get me in touch with BB. With all due respect, sir, we could talk to real people. Shut the fuck up, whore. I want to talk to the widowed kid or whatever a kid who's lost her dad because I killed him is. Allegedly. Fuck.
Allegedly. They do have a good vibe though. I like their vibe.
No, I like every character is great. It's just it's so much fun to picture the Kingpin just not pretending for like a minute.
Yeah.
No matter what, I will always see every character Vincent D'Onofrio plays as Edgar from Men in Black.
Edgar, you said?
Yeah, he was the alien in Men in Black.
Okay.
You remember Men in Black, right?
I mean, I don't remember that he was there.
Do we have to watch Men in Black?
He
was the main bad guy.
I don't remember Men in Black at all. Like I watched that movie how many years ago? I've never rewatched that movie. I've never rewatched that movie.
The movie was so good.
So
every time I hear his voice, I always hear his voice, but not in that same tone. In the sugar in water. Like
the Venom voice. That's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah, that's what he sounded like. It was crazy. It was the best character ever. Please rewatch Men in Black. I don't care. Just do it. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna laugh because it was
Men in Black was good though.
Just so hilarious.
Men in Black was good though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
But I just don't remember him specifically. But it was a good fun. It was a good fun movie.
You don't remember the main bad guy?
No,
the bug. See, we got a bug.
I'm sure he was fine.
He was the best.
I really watched that movie for Will Smith. That was my purpose.
We all did. Man, were we so wrong. We were so wrong about Will Smith.
I don't blame him. I blame who he's with now at this point. But
I
also blame
Will
him.
Smith.
I also blame him now.
Choosing a life.
Yeah, it's true.
I believe Will Smith is hiding a lot of things, and I don't know why. But I think Will Smith needs to start taking steps out of very many closets he's in.
Closets.
Do you remember? I'm not speculating publicly.
No, I don't. I
just assume. I don't think that's what you meant. Mean, like, I think it might be. I'm not speculating at all about what I meant. I'm just saying, like, I think Will Smith is hiding a lot of himself from the world, and I think, like, Will, you could be open about who you are as a person, because let me be clear. Remember when his wife went on TV and was like, "Yeah, I'm fucking our son's friend," and Will watches, and Will was like,
"So wild, bro,"
and I'm
so
like,
wild,
Will.
Wild story, bro.
Well, you gotta let this out, or you're gonna kill Or you're gonna cause a fucking 17 car pile up on the freeway. Like, what do you? Well, you can't be okay. I won't let you be okay with this, Will.
It's a rough. I mean, listen, man. I'm telling you, the slap that started it all. That's what we call it. The slap that started it all.
I love how Chris Rock was like, "That
I
wasn't
just
fake."
got. Yeah. The funniest part about that whole thing was I just got Will Smith the slap. I mean, I was like, that's the funniest part of the entire thing. That was by far, bro, the funniest part. And I was like, yeah this man's cooked. Something wrong with this man. This man's cooked, bro.
It's not
Oh my
okay.
goodness. It wasn't okay by any means. And it's to this day, it's still not okay.
It's not okay to slap another man in public.
Right.
It's not okay. Now, if you wanted to, at the end of that, be like, hey, man, I don't appreciate you talking about my wife like that. Please apologize to her. That's a man move. That's man as fuck. But like like I'm gonna get up and slap the smallest fucking dude in the room.
Yeah. That was a real decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna slap the small in the middle of a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's not defending your fucking woman. That's being a fucking idiot.
That was rough,
We're
bro.
still talking about it though. We're still
Yeah, we
talking
are.
about it.
To this day.
Yeah.
We're still here.
I don't know. I want more fucking Daredevil all the time. I want Daredevil in my veins.
Daredevil is right now to me the most fun that I'm having on TV at the current moment. And I am already disappointed that it has to go soon. And when I say soon, it doesn't matter how long it takes.
In two months.
Whenever it's gone, it's still going to be too
yeah.
far. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They are filming season 2 right now. They're currently filming. Well,
yeah, that we know is coming, which is exciting by any means. By overall, that's exciting. With that being said, though, I am trying to.
One more thing. Hold on.
Yeah.
When they were in the courtroom,
mm-hmm.
and they were like, Officer Morales. Morales is an incredibly common Puerto Rican last name.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't like. There are people that are like, oh, Miles' dad.
What?
Probably not, because Miles' dad's name, for the majority of the fucking time that he existed, was Jefferson Davis. I don't care about anything else, but if they had said Officer Davis, I'd have been like, oh shit, that might be Miles' dad. When they're like Officer Morales, right next to like an Officer like Wong and an Officer Vasquez, I'm like, they're just naming ethnic fucking people. Like, that's all they're doing. They'll be like, this is like, my ethnic client is a help to all ethnic cops. It just so happens that the two white cops that have a problem with him were dirty. And I'm like,
yeah, that thought, this is funny because that thought never crossed my mind. That
I heard
it
some
was
people
even
talk about it on Reddit, which, as is tradition, it's Reddit. So
that's fair. That's entirely fair.
Finish your thought. I'm sorry.
No, what was I gonna say here? So I think my one thing about this is that I'm enjoying the fact that there is more. I don't know. There's just fun stuff to talk about overall, and I keep on going back to the same thing that I say again. I'm just like, once again, I would like to know where this potentially lines up in the future. And I think you had alluded to it last week, but we didn't really fully get a full discussion and conversation on it. So where do you think that this ends up?
Daredevil?
Yeah. What do you think this leads up to?
Matt getting outed as Daredevil.
Okay.
A full civil war in New York.
Okay.
I don't think this season wraps up well, if that's the first thing I can answer. I think we are left with a clusterfuck of a. I think New York is fucked at the end of the season. I think we're
You think
gonna
so?
have I think we're gonna have like a schism in the cops, where there's gonna be like a whole bunch of cops that think they're the Punisher,
Mm.
and a whole bunch of cops that aren't giant pieces of shit. And then there's gonna be the Punisher who's gonna be killing cops. If Punisher ain't putting down cops, this ain't Punisher. Like
I mean,
Punisher kills
especially
criminals.
now.
He
You know what I
doesn't
mean?
care.
Especially
Yeah.
after all this. Yeah.
Yeah, Punisher doesn't wait outside the fucking courtroom for someone to be told guilty or innocent and then shoot them. No, no, no. He's like, you did some shitty things, and I know you did. So I'm gonna kill you. Because I can. And because it's better if you're dead. And there's a lot of cops in that in this series that need to be fucking put down. And I think that the fact that they're all rocking around wearing the Punisher fucking tattoo is gonna piss him off.
Right.
Like, I think he's gonna be like, "You're not me. Fuck you. There's only one me." And I think that's gonna be a problem. I think that's gonna lead to Fisk putting a direct ban on all vigilantes.
Yeah, because the act is, so that's most likely where the season ends, right? It's like, oh, here is the anti-vigilante act, and that's what leads into the next season.
Well, that's also kind of what it seems like they originally wanted Spider-Man 4 to be. Spider-Man now in the Fisk, New York, being hunted because he is a criminal because Fisk has made him a criminal.
Okay.
Even though, like, generally speaking, New York loves Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, New York has almost always loved Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple of times where that wasn't true. In the comics. But overall, New York loves Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So even the cops were like, yeah, Spider-Man, fuck yeah. Fire department, love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
FDNY, huge fans. Loved him. He saved so many fire department lives, you know? Cops loved him. Everybody fucking loved him. But not every single person. Like, some people had fucking... That's why the Daily Bugle was in business, right? They're like,
Right.
Spider-Man, he's robbed a bank. He didn't rob the bank. You don't know he didn't. But you can't say that. What's he gonna do? Sue me? Like,
Yeah.
go ahead. I'd love to see him
jokes.
in court. Like, yeah, JJ is fucking great. Current comic run, JJ knows Peter is Spider-Man, and he apologizes. He's like, I'm so sorry, Pete. I have put you are nothing but a great person. Had I known it was you from the get, I would have been all pro Spider-Man. But you know why I don't like Mask? Because his first wife was killed by a masked gunman. Yeah. So, like, he's like, you know where I stand. You could have just talked about this. He's like, yeah, but JJ, I couldn't fucking trust you. He's like, yeah, but I couldn't trust you. You see where we're at? But now we're friends. It's fine. He's like, is it cool if I still shit talk you like a little bit though? He's like, I don't care. Sell your fucking papers, dude. Like, do whatever you want.
All right, so I guess where we segue over to next is the show that you love so much.
Hold on, I just wanted to point out they're casting a chick, Sadie Sink. She was in Stranger Things, I think. Oh yeah, it says it right here, Stranger Things. In the next Spider-Man movie.
Mm-hmm.
I understand she's a redhead. Everybody, hair color doesn't inherently mean anything. She
Oh,
might
do people
not
think she's
be.
playing MJ?
I've
Is that what it
seen
is?
some comments. They're like, "Oh, she's gonna be another MJ," and then I saw some comments saying like, "No, Zendaya was MJ." I'm like, no, she wasn't.
Who was it?
She was Michelle Jones Watson. Be like,
Yeah,
yeah, which is not the name of MJ. His name isn't Pierre Picard.
yeah.
Like, he's Peter Parker. Mary Jane Watson is MJ.
Yep.
Marvel and Sony had no comment. Okay, so there's not real info fucking mation here. The prevailing theory is that she'll be introduced as X-Men character Jean Grey. Why would she?
Oh,
Why? Why would this happen? Why would she be in the
MJ.
Spider? I think Spider-Man takes place between the Avengers movies.
Is it supposed to be between the Avengers movies?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Because it's supposed to be out. It's supposed to
Yeah.
come out next year, right?
We mentioned it last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to come out after Doomsday, before Secret Wars.
Mm.
I think she's just gonna play any fucking character in the goddamn world, because she could play any character because her hair color can change. Or
Yeah, I was thinking she's
anyone can
probably
have any
too,
color hair.
she's probably too young for Black Cat, right? I'm assuming.
If I can't jerk off to whoever they get to play Black Cat, I'm gonna call the police.
Oh my goodness. Is that the criteria? That's the simple criteria. I understand the reasoning. I'm just saying, is that the simple criteria?
Here's the bar.
Oh, she cosplayer. Okay,
Just cosplayers.
I understand your bar.
Worst cosplay, for obvious reasons. This one's great.
There's a lot of really good artwork there.
Trying to fast forward a little bit. Nailed it.
So there were some rumors. I think that people thought that what's her face was going to play what, Sydney Sweeney, but I'm like, is this fan casting? This got to be fan casting.
Don't get to see Sydney Sweeney's tits. Don't have to look at Sydney Sweeney's face. Best casting ever. Heroic casting. I don't give a shit. Honestly, you can just literally be like, D cups and up casting. Go. What color hair? Doesn't matter. You wear a wig. How much weight? We'll take all comers. Some are more likely to make it than others. Like, D cups only. Well, we can wear push-up.
Oh boy.
D cups only. Black Cat. How old's Peter now? 18, right?
He's just going into college. Yeah, so 18.
Yeah, he's like at least probably around 18.
Yeah. Still a youngin'.
Don't care about Alex Perez Q&A. Daredevil Born Again, don't great. Homecoming teases shocker villain's return ahead of Spider-Man 4. Not reading that. Black and white release for the Amazon show Spider-Man Noir. Joe Bernthal on dark upcoming Punisher special. It will not be Punisher Light, I promise you that. There's a special for the Punisher? Russo brothers say recent concept art leak was fake. I believe them. New Fantastic Four trailer dropping on 4th of April. Great. Okay. Avengers Doomsday working title is For All Time because that's what they paid for when it was supposed to be called the Kang Dynasty.
Mm.
We read the comments on
Boy.
this. From your fingertips to Russo's ears, Jar Jar is the key to all of this. This is so fucking dumb. Let's go print 2 billion at the box office. TVA and Loki are so involved. No, guys. Again, dumb Reddit. It's called For All Time because when they put together the company to make this 2 years ago, when they were all getting ready to do everything, the name of the movie was Kang Dynasty, and it made the most sense. The only reason the working title is For All Time is because they already bought it.
Yep.
So dumb.
Well, to be fair, it's not entirely obvious.
No, but it is. It's not entirely obvious, but it's one of those things where if you think about it for longer than a second, you could draw the correct conclusion. Why would it be called For All Time? They've already abandoned all of this. Probably because they changed the name of the story in the middle of the time. This was their plan. They bought it. Like, just a little bit of critical thinking solves a lot of problems.
I think you're asking for too much personally.
Marvel Brave New World at its current rate of box office grossing will wind up as one of the lowest grossing Marvel movies of all time. Maybe, but it can't possibly be lower than the Marvels.
Nah, the Marvels was rough, bro.
207.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, they didn't even get close. Like, it wasn't even close. At least
207.
At least. Like, Brave New World is at least close to breaking even.
Brave New World was at least somewhat watchable.
And, right, it was also a decent enough movie.
You could follow Brave New World. You might not like Brave New World, like me. I wasn't a fan of it for a lot of reasons, but like I followed it. I laughed at parts, maybe not the parts they intended. Maybe Sam. Oh, a window. Let me take the stairs. Like, that's funny to me.
That was hilarious.
But they didn't have to put that in the movie, so they knew that was funny.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like I think they made some bad choices in that movie, and I think, like I said last week, the most important bad choice they made was to tell us Red Hulk was in the movie.
Yep.
And that would have if they kept their fucking mouth shut about that.
That would have added some sort of that would have added some sort of like what's the word I'm looking for here? That would have added just some sort of like excitement to it. Oh, this is the first time that we're ever seeing this. Hey, did you know what? Red Hulk is in the movie.
What? Like, dude, we knew Red Hulk was in the movie, so we're just sitting here waiting for the movie to get to Red Hulk.
To Red Hulk, exactly.
And the problem is the movie was still cut and edited as if it was a big fucking surprise.
Right.
So we're like, yeah, we know this is happening. So I actually envy anybody who didn't know. Because they might have gotten to see that movie and been like, yo, that was so fucking cool.
Right.
But we were spoiled. Like I said at the very beginning, we were ahead of the movie from the get-go. The movie was trying to catch up to us, not the other way around. Also, that small child that was present the entire time. You know what? There's actually, hold on. One Punch Man, small child. Image. What's with this sassy lost child? This is a quote from One Punch Man, but like, there's a character that's really small and he doesn't know that she's powerful. So he's like, "What's this lost fucking child?" That's what's her name? Ruby? Judith? Judy? Sabra?
Is what?
Ruth?
Is
Ruth?
she
Ruth
from One Punch Man?
No, it's just the meme of like, what's with this sassy lost child? And it's this fucking little girl who, like, oh yeah, no, she could take on an infinite supply of very big, very tough men. Yeah, that's what the widow training was. Remember, the widow training was so advanced, it was so strong and so powerful that it made things like weight
obsolete,
irrelevant. This
Yeah,
97
100%.
pound girl
You don't get it, bro?
could
Like,
absolutely beat up 12 armored men. Keep
but
in mind,
you don't see that was possible? Like, I think
keep in
I don't think
mind,
that you're expanding your mind enough.
ignoring man versus woman, because I'm not about to have that conversation live.
Yeah, stay away
Nope.
from that one.
Not doing that. If I outweigh you by 100 pounds, I'm gonna kill you. Period. That's it.
She got widow training, bro. You don't understand.
I'm gonna kill you.
She has widow training.
There
bro.
is not a human on this planet
She was in the red room, bro.
I
Why don't you
can't kill at 100-pound deficit.
She was in the red room, bro.
And did they give her super soldier serum?
How do you know that they didn't?
How do you know they didn't?
How do you? That's all I'm saying. That we were clearly that happened behind that. You know what it was? That part of the scene of the movie was cut out, bro. That's why you didn't see it. That's why you didn't understand. It was cut out of the movie for dramatic effect. And that's the reason why you weren't able to understand the greatness of this movie. It's a skill issue. That's really what it comes down to. Is that it's a skill issue. That's where we are. No, the problem is the movie was fine. The movie was fine, bro. The problem was that there wasn't enough suspense in the movie. There were times where it just felt contrived as heck. Like, oh, okay, we are going to create these imaginary stakes. How? Well, what you don't understand is that they left their suits, even though they were going on this really important mission. They left their suits somewhere. We don't know where it is. Their suits were left somewhere important. Although they were going on this mission where they understood that some of the most dangerous criminals on earth are. But they left the suits anyways. So when they got there, the fight could be more meaningful because it wasn't that easy because they left their suits. Don't you understand? Don't you understand?
See, as long as we fight the Atlanteans
on water,
we have the moral victory.
I'm telling you, man. The problem is us. We don't understand. We don't have enough of an imagination.
If they were forced to fight them on water, fine. Man. If they were forced to do that,
yeah,
fine. They weren't. They chose it. They're like, we're going to take the fight to them.
That was the strategy, bro.
The people who have super strength in water? Yeah. What are we going to do?
We're going to fight them
vibranium. They have fucking vibranium. And super strength underwater.
Right.
Do you know how strong you have to be for vibranium strength to not matter?
Yeah. Really strong.
They have that. It's a whole bunch of underwater Black Panthers running around.
Oh,
and
man.
Namor has wings on his feet. He's got little footy wings and he can fly. He could fly and be underwater.
Yeah, man.
Worst decision in all of Marvel. That's the second worst decision in all of Marvel. In the history of Marvel,
What was worse?
To this day, the worst decision with 3 fucking geniuses and then a handful of really smart people was to go back in time not to get more pin particles. Not to be like, all right, guys, we only have enough pin particles for like 1 round way trip for each of us. Okay, but what if we use one of them to send Scott to like 2 days before with all of the information he needs to tell them that he needs Hank Pym to come back with him to create more Pym particles so we have infinite fucking tries at this.
Yeah, Pym particles, yeah.
Also,
why would we do that?
It's not even the third, because the second dumbest choice was to not just ignore Tony.
What do you mean? Please expand.
Go back in time, send Thor back in time from the other angle, and have him cut Thanos' head off from behind. No snap. Problem solved.
Why would we do
Tony's the reason they didn't do that. Because Tony didn't want to lose Morgan. But if they just went back in time and killed Thanos...
See, but that one's not blatantly stupid. The ones that we talked about before are blatantly stupid. Like,
no, it's so stupid they had to explain twice in the movie why they couldn't. That's how stupid it is. But they had to make up 2 different ways in the story. We can't go back to the time. Cool. Let's go back to time to before Thanos fucking snapped the stones out of existence and take him then.
See, but that I let happen. I let that one happen. You know why? Because in the grand scheme of the movie, you went out of your way to say why it wouldn't work. I said, all right, cool, whatever. Yeah. Fine. That's okay.
That's part where it's the second dumbest thing.
The reason why it gets really dumb is when you're just like, oh, we only have XYZ amount of Pym particles. And you're just like, oh, hold on. Also, what you did as plan B when you lost the Pym particles was then go back and get more Pym particles. Why wasn't this the first in the first place? I don't understand, sir. Please enlighten me.
They went to Morag while people were trying to go to Morag.
Right.
Could have gone any time before that.
Worst time.
Yeah, literal worst time. Could have gone any time in history. They could have gone in 2001. When nobody was on Morag, and the Red Skull wasn't even in the no, he was definitely there. I'm sorry, that's time travel shit. And the Red Skull was still fucking around doing nothing. Problem solved. Before Gamora found out. Could have gone before Gamora found out that the other things were on Vormir? Vormir.
Yeah. You went to get the soul.
Worst possible fucking time.
You went to get the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
No one talked about how he got the Soul Stone the first time. Oh, not until when?
No one knew.
Not until. You know what? Because the Red Skull guy
was the only one who knew.
Red Skull guy, yeah, the Red Skull guy told them when they got there.
Yeah,
so that's fair. That's fair.
Nebula was the only one who knew that Thanos, and he even said Thanos went with my sister and came back with the stone, and no sister.
No sister, right? So that's fair. I'll hop off that one, considering.
I don't like it. It was all stupid.
But that's the reason why time travel is always dumb. I guess
Endgame stupidity
just gets dumb, bro. Time travel stupid. It's just
evenly offset by dope ass parts of Endgame. Like every part of Endgame that was incredibly fucking stupid was offset by Cap fucking up Thanos with Mjolnir.
Yeah, 100%.
And then, but then we got the entire scene after where like Scarlet Witch didn't win, CM didn't win, Peter Parker and CM didn't hook up after it. There was some fucking tension there.
There was.
You felt it. You felt
it. A little bit.
Hi, Peter Parker. You're like, ooh, government name and everything. He's young.
He's very young.
She's like, I don't know.
She was
80.
She was coming on a little strong, bro.
How old was she?
She
fucked off in the 90s.
Gotta be 50s.
No, yeah, she's way
50s.
older than that. Yeah, because she got juiced up pre-90s because she came back to Earth in the 90s.
Pre-90s, yeah, you're right.
So in the 80s she was juiced up, maybe.
In her 80s, she was in her 20s. She was in her 20s then, right?
20s. She might, and this took place in like 2015.
Yeah. So then, she gotta be up. She gotta be up there in the 80s.
She's at least 60.
Yeah. She gotta be 80s though, because if you're doing the math, she was in her 20s back in the 80s, right? And then she basically disappeared for like 10 years. So that's 30 right there. And she came back in the 90s. Yeah, okay. Yeah, probably 60s then. I could go with that.
Pete was 17.
She's old.
Pete was 17.
Listen.
Technically.
Listen, Cap was 90
actually,
and he kissed Sharon.
Technically,
so,
Pete was 23.
Oh, because he blipped.
Actually, Pete was 17.
Yeah, he blipped, so he wasn't even 23.
I was watching a video report that was talking about Endgame. I don't remember who it was. I would give a shout out, but it was on YouTube. I'm sure if you just type in like why Endgame was actually horrible. Yeah. But it wasn't about why the movie. It was why the events of Endgame were actually horrible. And it was like, guys, the world was so fucked by the end of Endgame that like there were like the Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? Like people came back. So like when they unsnapped and brought everybody back, they didn't bring back anybody who died because of the snap. Imagine you're having like surgery performed on you and your doctor just becomes dust in the middle of surgery. You're dead.
Yeah. It's over.
And okay, reverse that. Imagine you and the doctor. Imagine they didn't. Imagine you get dusted while surgery's happening. So you come back
needing surgery.
Where are you? On the table?
Yeah.
The reverse snap was stupid because nobody thought of it past. And nobody even tried to explain it after. That's the laziness. They're like, comic books, this shit happens all the time. And then eventually someone's like, yeah, but fucking shut up. And we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Moving on. No. It was the worst thing.
The only one that really kind of like showed some seriousness and eye-openingness to it was kind of like WandaVision when Rainbow snapped back. And you were like, oh yeah, all the damn chaos in the hospital. Yeah. That was the only one where that was the first time I was like, oh yeah, wow. This is actually kind of crazy. We saw it
in Black Widow too, I think, right? When
we did see it in Black Widow.
I think so.
Yelena,
yeah. No. When did Yelena unsnap? Was that the Hawkeye show?
You're right. It was Hawkeye. They showed. I
haven't gotten to that part in Hawkeye because I'm only watching it like a little. Yeah, she gets unsnapped. Like, gets unsnapped. The unsnap fucked everything. Imagine how crazy it was 5 years where like half plus the population of Earth dies. And then imagine if in one day half the population of Earth fucking returns.
Yeah,
global economy is fucked.
I mean, that was basically the entirety of what?
There were boats. Soldier, right? 5 years later, there were boats parked around the Statue of Liberty because everyone had given up 5 years later. 5 years later, people were still
5 years
over
later.
it.
Nope.
We're almost 5 years after COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, next year will be 5 years after COVID. But
Yeah, next year be
and by COVID I mean like the initial and the lockdown shit. Like, we're still not okay.
No.
And we're
not.
like,
we're piecing it together, but we're not okay.
The fact that Marvel decided this was the opportunity to start telling these stories instead of just constantly harping on how shitty the world is at all times. The Eternals.
Oh, you mean deciding to go with the multiversal stuff? Yeah.
She-Hulk. Echo. All the TV shows that took place. Moon Knight. All the TV shows that took place in a relatively stable world. World's not stable. World is insanely unstable right now. And only got worse because guess what? If a president got snapped away, any president of any country, ignoring that, what if the CEO of a company got snapped away and then came back?
To be fair, that would have been interesting.
Like the lawyers, oh my
God,
what the hell?
That would have been interesting to see them do, which was to like show some world powers, some regular people getting snapped, right? And like what the effects of that
were Wakanda, because like people got snapped away, and they're like,
well, we are
isolationist nation. Like we lost half of our population, and it doesn't matter because we have infinite supplies and infinite money and infinite food and infinite everything, so we don't give a shit.
Yeah, right. And also, they kind of prepare themselves for if they ever lose a king. Like, this literally the entire plan that they go through multiple times.
I think they clarified that M'Baku was in charge until BP came back.
Yeah.
Or was it Queen Ramonda?
I think Queen Ramonda was after what happened with T'Challa. But I think during... Because didn't she blip too? Didn't Queen Ramonda blip also? Am I wrong about that?
I know that M'Baku stepped up. And I know that technically right now in the canon, he is the king of Wakanda, but not the Black Panther. But he's also never going to be the Black Panther because he's the white gorilla.
Yep.
Which is so problematic.
Well, I mean,
there's a reason they called him M'Baku and not Manape, the white gorilla. Like, they're like, this doesn't read well.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Like, let's not call the black man in Africa the white gorilla.
The white gorilla. Yeah.
Let's call him M'Baku of the gorilla tribe because there's a bunch of tribes, and that's as far as we'll get. Like,
I can see how that could potentially. I can see how that could potentially be a little bit, problematic there.
Some things don't age well, and like it's okay to change them. I don't care that they didn't call him the Man-Ape. I don't care because he's clearly a fucking monster, and I loved him.
Dude,
he's my favorite character.
He was an absolute.
Winston Duke is a fucking hero.
Can't get enough. Funny. He's so funny and such a nerd outside of that movie too, and I love it.
He doesn't understand that he can make a shit ton of extra money just doing like podcast circuits with other nerds.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, just like D&D. He should be in D&D game. I'll invite him to my next D&D game. Winston, get over here. Him who's the other guy?
He plays.
The other guy who's doing D&D now on Critical Role. Oh god, Joe. Oh god.
Joe Rogan?
No. Ooh, no.
Oh no.
No.
I was taking a wild guess there.
He was married to Sofia Vergara, and then they broke up because they're like, wait, we could still fuck anyone we want. Why would we do this? Oh. Joe Manganiello.
Oh, that dude. Is he? He's Hispanic, right? Is that what he is?
Italian,
Italian. Okay.
and something else. I don't remember what, but yeah, like
She's Hispanic. Yeah.
yeah,
All right, got it.
she's Chilean, Colombian, not 100%.
She's gorgeous. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But like,
Okay.
yeah, he's like, I'm a nerd. I'm also jacked, ripped, diesel, and having fun with my life. And we got divorced because we can, and now whoever marries her next is going to be lucky, and whoever marries me next is going to be lucky if if either of us ever decide to get married. So like, yeah, fuck it.
That's fair.
Yeah, we still don't know who the Avengers are. We're still never going to. So now we just have to cross our fingers, accept that we have Daredevil until Fantastic Four, and then pray to God that Fantastic Four doesn't suck too fat of a donkey cock.
I mean, everything is relying on Fantastic Four right now to be good. Like it needs to be good because I mean, this is what we have before we get Avengers.
I'm afraid. Superman might be better than Fantastic Four, and neither of them are gonna make more money than Jurassic World 8.
Which is funny because that movie really probably may not be good, but also it doesn't matter.
After the first Jurassic Park, there hasn't been a good Jurassic Park movie, but dinosaurs. So shut up.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, now we can talk about Invincible. We've done it.
I enjoyed this last episode. It was fun, man. It was great. First and foremost, let's point this out. The animation this season hasn't been great, but the animation in this last episode wasn't bad at all. I was like, hold on, did they save 90% of the animation to be done in this last episode, bro? What is going on? It was good. It was good. It was fun. There's nothing more that I enjoy than just watching Mark get the crap beaten out of him. They do it so well. Now there's gonna be a certain point in time where I'm just gonna be like, all right, come on, like, all right, fam, like.
You didn't read the comics.
I did not read the comics. No.
So I'm gonna do my absolute best to not talk about the comics.
Okay. How many comics? There's over 100 issues, aren't there? Of like the main thing, or is how many are there in total?
A lot. There's a lot. There's so many.
And they're only like, from my understanding, they're only like maybe just touching issue 70 now, basically from
70.
Yeah, like based on like where they are so far.
They're not even a third into the story.
Because someone did give some recommendations, like, oh, if you want to know exactly how this goes, like read up until issue like 65. And I was like, oh, okay. That's good to know.
Okay, so there's our disconnect. There are like 70 trade paperbacks. Okay. Season 1 of Invincible, perfect, no notes. They changed some things, didn't matter, was good. Season 2 of Invincible was fine. It was fine.
Okay.
The finale of this season was great, and it would have been even better if it was episode fucking 4 of this season.
Got it. Okay.
The first episode of the season was good. Episodes 2 through 6 was like 20 minutes of relevant story surrounded by 6 hours of unnecessary, boring, non-developing like, we're gonna kill Rex off, so let's make sure we build him a character arc. Invincible War being one episode. Invincible War being one episode when it was like 8 comics is a travesty. This entire season could have been the Invincible War.
So I will say this.
They could make 20 seasons of this show. not wanting
That
for anything, telling it well. They're not
that
going to.
that was my one gripe throughout the entire thing. And this is a gripe not just against Invincible. This is a gripe for most shows now that I watch. Why is it that we can't do more than 8 episodes in a season now? Like I don't I understand maybe it's a budget thing. Obviously it's probably a budget thing. Maybe it's a timing thing, how fast they have to get these episodes done. Maybe that's the case, but I'm at this point now where I'm like, why can't we have anything that's just more than 12 episodes? Because a lot of the shows that I used to watch growing up, I mean, we're talking about 18, 19, 20 plus episode seasons. And you're right. Like I watched the Invincible War thing and I was like, oh, this was really fast. Oh, we're getting Conquest already? How did that happen? Because everybody's been telling me how like the fight between him and Conquest is like amazing. And apparently it's like 5 issues in the comics.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm like,
What are they speed running and how are they doing it so poorly?
it's so I enjoyed it. So this is me not reading the comics. So I'm fine with what I got from that episode. I did feel like I did feel like the Invincible War thing was too fast. I did get frustrated with the fact that Adam Eve kept on being sidelined for the sake of, I guess, Mark. Um,
That
I
was
was a
actually
little bit
pretty comic accurate for what it was worth. Just
okay.
to say, like, that was, I mean, you could still be mad about it. That was fairly comic accurate.
So I think a lot of people talked about it from a comic book perspective. I was talking about it because she has like an individual thing on what's it called on Amazon. Like she has like an individual story. I was like, she is amazing in this. And then I look at her in the regular show and I'm like, she's not like this at all. So what's going on here? Um
This should have been a
so
15 episode season.
see, and I would have been fine with that because I felt like there were some like still Alan the Alien and and Omni-Man. Like what's going on with them? We still don't have any sort of like there was no conclusion to that story. There was nothing that brought that forward. We got
The
to see
Adam, the Adam Eve Invincible arc where like
yeah,
he tells her he loves her,
yeah,
like, and then immediately confesses why.
yeah.
That's not what happens. That's also really dumb how that happens. His
Got
two
it.
best friends in the world were like, don't tell her that. Do not fucking tell her that. Don't tell her that. And Mark, who I love to hate in this season. I love to hate Mark. I fucking love
Okay.
to. It's like they went out of their fucking way to make me hate goddamn Mark this entire goddamn season. They went out of their way. They had to. They did everything they can to make me be like, yo, fuck this guy. He doesn't deserve
Okay.
anything. He deserves no
Okay.
good or no happiness. Because he's an idiot. And he can't be just a young kid anymore. Because he's not just a young kid anymore. That's the takeaway from the finale that I appreciate the most. Where he was talking to Oliver and he's like, no, you're right, Oliver. I'm going to have to put some motherfuckers down. I'm like, yeah, good. Let's not Thor in the MCU this and forget that in the first episode of the next goddamn season.
Mm.
I'm going to
But
kill
he-
these people. Bump. You broke my arm. Yup. Do you surrender? Bump. You broke my other arm. You're trying to kill people. Are we done? Bump. Broke your leg. I could do this all day, motherfucker. Not even taking energy. Like, Invincible is the most powerful being in the universe.
Yeah.
Not right now, but there's some storyline spoilers stuff that I'm not going to get into.
Okay.
But Nolan this season mentioned that there was only like 50 pure-blooded Viltrumites.
Right.
There's a reason the Viltrum Empire is picking planets to reproduce it. They haven't told us what it is. They will. They have to. It's very important. There's a reason Anissa. So when Anissa's fighting Mark at the it was at the end of last season.
Yeah.
Wasn't this season, right? No, it was last season.
No, it was last season.
Anissa recognizes something different about Mark. Because the Viltrumites, they don't really pull their punches.
Yeah.
They hit shit. And if they die, but they don't really pull their punches.
Mm-hmm.
While Anissa was fighting Mark, which they didn't tell you in the series because they're stupid and terrible at storytelling in this series, is that Anissa recognized that Mark was not just holding back, he was scaling. Every time he hit her, it was harder than the last.
Mm-hmm.
So she recognized when he first hit him, she was like, when she first hit her, she was like, dude, you're weak as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then he kept hitting her. Then she killed the monster, and he kept fucking hitting her. And she's like, oh, this is something different about this motherfucker.
Is that what happened in the comics?
We find out more about why and how in the comics, but and this explains to them why Mark is somebody they should keep their eye out for. And the reason they send Conquest is if Conquest can kill Mark, that's why he was given in the instructions, by any means necessary.
Yeah.
If Conquest can kill Mark, Anissa was wrong. But if Conquest can't kill Mark, one, we got rid of Conquest, that fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
And two, Anissa's right, we're going to have to talk to Mark.
Okay.
Conquest is one of the strongest Viltrumites.
Mm.
In theory, Krieg, the president, the leader, is the strongest.
Okay.
Spoilers, he is not.
Okay.
I can't tell you what the spoilers are. He is not the strongest. They think he's the strongest. He knows he's not the strongest. He knows who is the strongest. It's irrelevant.
Okay.
Oh, and that fucking Viltrumite, the guy who has Optimus Prime's voice that's hanging out with the coalition of planets or whatever, he also knows the truth. That guy also knows the truth of what's happening. He's keeping it a fucking secret. Because he has to. Because it's fucking important. What they've done in this season is tell me 5 different stories half-assedly, and the one that was the most interesting, they gave us a fight between Conquest. The fight was awesome. I love that fight. The fight was great. Adam Eve became Super Saiyan. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Every part of that fight was great. But the fight didn't matter because we don't know why the fight mattered. And it happened right after the Invincible War.
Yeah.
This entire season could have been 3-episode setup, 3-episode Invincible War, 2-episode fight with Conquest. Could have been the whole fucking season.
Okay.
All of it. Dude, I don't even remember what the second episode of Invincible was. That's how nothing that episode was. Oh, remember that episode where he went into the future to kill a fucking immortal?
Yeah.
That could have been cut for fucking time. That was completely fucking unnecessary.
So it's the problem that they don't know which stories they're not keying in on which stories to specifically pick. Is it the problem? Because once again, we're getting, I'm like, okay, I like the episode with him going to fight Immortal. I just also said to myself, what do we get from this? Like what? Because what I thought was interesting, I'm like, it would have been maybe more interesting. And once again, I don't know if this is comic accurate, but would have been interesting if he had met his future self that left Immortal there. I was like, then he would have been able to see a different Mark. Like that would have been interesting to me, but then they didn't go in that direction. They chose to go in the direction of, well, you saw what they went in. They saw what direction they went in. So I didn't understand the purpose of that episode was my thing. I don't remember really anything other than from that, other than like Angstrom Levy. I remember they had the random dude who wanted to kill him because of what happened in season 1.
Powerplex. And Powerplex also was like a huge fucking arc.
Oh, it was. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like they were like, how do we get 50 comics into 8 episodes? And the first answer should have been, you don't. You don't do that. You take 20 comics, maybe, and do that. There's an arc, I'm not going to go into details or spoilers, where Rudy and Amanda, Monster Girl, go into the Flaxen dimension, and they spend 700 years there.
What?
Now, remember the Flaxens are those guys that come from the timeline.
Oh,
that's
faster. Yeah,
so
they're
there
really
it's only like
fast,
3 months for them.
Yeah.
It's only like 3. They come back after 3 months, but they've been there for 700 fucking years.
Yeah.
That can't be told in 1 episode. That definitely can't be told in 2 episodes where you're just mentioning it. I'm afraid they're going to be like, we're going to give 6 minutes to what's happening to them over 3 episodes at some point in the middle of next season and fuck off. Because they don't. My friend Josh, Ominous, the guy I'd have come in if we were going to do a show and one of us had to be gone.
Yeah.
He has this like very cynical approach to like how streaming services are operating right now.
Yep.
Because he's like, they have to put out content. They just have to. All of them. Every single one. But they're not making any money on the content. They're not regular TV shows.
Okay.
If the show's really good, they can't charge advertisers more. Like on, anything else. And they're not HBO's business model where if we put out a really good show, people will buy our package through cable or, at HBO Max, but they're not that big, the premium business model either.
Yeah.
Where like, okay, because you buy an HBO, you'll get a package, and then if the package of HBO costs $40 extra, that's 30 to us, 10 to the cable provider. We're making $30 per person every month on the bill, and it's contract, so we know how much we're getting, for how long. We know the minimums, right? Like no one's canceling and shit. So like, man, HBO was like they're on different models. Netflix isn't getting new. Like, is anyone new getting a Netflix subscription or an Amazon Prime subscription or an Apple Plus subscription? No. Very rarely, if ever, are they converting on any of this. Which is why it's crazy to me that, like, Severance is the best show no one is fucking watching.
Okay.
Because it's on Apple TV. So, like, some people have Apple TV because no one buys Apple TV. Like, some people have it because their phone plan does, or they signed up for something. My one friend, his insurance actually gives him a discount on Apple TV, like his car insurance.
Oh, nice.
I was like, that's crazy. My cell phone service gives me Hulu and Netflix for free.
Yep.
So I'm like, yeah, I have those 2. Do I use them? Do I pay anything for them? No. No, I don't. Yeah, it says with ads, but like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Ads? On my phone? Absolutely not. Nothing.
Yeah.
My YouTube doesn't have ads on my phone. Are you kidding me? Fuck that.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. I use YouTube Vance, baby. Like, no chance. Absolutely not. No ads. I don't watch. The only thing that has ads is this website we're on right now, because this is on the GnT fucking profile, and I haven't put any ad blockers on it.
That's fair.
But I'm like, but like, they don't care. So I think the Invincible people are just like, what's the cheapest way we can get the most out of this story? And Kirkman doesn't give a shit, because Kirkman's rich now, because Kirkman sold all of the rights to Invincible and was a fucking Walking Dead a long ass time ago. So like, he was there at the beginning, and then he was just like, oh, I don't have to be here, and you're still gonna pay me fucking royalties for this shit? Yeah. Bye. If you don't know who Robert Kirkman is, the guy who made both of these, the writer of them, he was a like comic book store owner, like when it sucked to be a comic book store owner. He's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna write some stories. And then through being a comic book store owner and meeting people at conventions, got some people to do art and shit for it, picked it up, sold it to, the original running was for his own company, but then he sold to Image, I think. Like, and he just turned it, he turned like his dying comic book fucking store into a multi-million-dollar IP licensing industry. So he doesn't give a shit. The fans of Invincible the comic aren't particularly happy with the show, as you will see by anyone talking about it.
Yeah.
And then the people who aren't fans of the comic are starting to be like, this season was weird. After last season's fuck up, where it was 4 episodes, 7 months later, 4 more episodes. Like, 8 episodes isn't enough for shit. If they're 24 to 36 minute episodes, that's not enough for anything.
Yeah.
Daredevil is knocking it out of the park at 9 episodes. Each one's damn near an hour, and I'm getting a good story out of it.
Right.
Nobody cares. That's why, Goof. None of these, they're just like, we have to put content out. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Someone will fucking watch it. And we don't make more money or less money on any of this. They don't.
Okay.
Invincible's not going to make, like, Invincible season 4 is not going to make them any more or less money. Amazon more or less money. It's just not. They're not going to buy it. Used to be like DVD sales, you know, episode sales might make some residuals. No, nobody fucking cares.
Well, it's unfortunate. Because like I said, I mean, I guess I'll have to revert to the comics whenever I have time to be able to read those. But I mean, unfortunately, I mean, nothing has been able to touch what season 1 has done so far, realistically. Like I said, I enjoyed the last episode. It was fun. Seeing, you know, Mark getting beat the crap out of was fun again. Yeah. But then also at the same time, seeing him sort of kind of get stronger as you go throughout was dope. Seeing Adam Eve doing her thing was finally great to see. And of course, like even the very end of it, like with the whole, you know, Cecil holding Conquest, and I'm like, all right, like I'm down with this story. This is fine. But it's also one of those things where it's just like, where do we go after this?
And then the post-credit scenes are cool. Battle Beast is still alive. Great. Oh, wow. The Sequids are on Earth. Don't care. Because they're not going to let any of these stories fucking breathe.
No.
They're going to, like...
The Sequids thing, I was just like... When I saw them, I'm like, okay, maybe this is comic accurate, but I was also just like, again...
Like, even if it is... it's going to be a third of an episode where 2 halves of it are going to be Debbie's dating life. Half the episode is going to be Debbie's dating life. The other half is going to be Oliver being potty trained. And then they're going to kill the Sequids off in like the background. And we're going to be like, oh, that's nice. Cool. How did we do that? I don't know. Did Mark just start killing people?
Yeah. Yeah, which you probably won't get that.
Also, if you didn't know, the voice of Conquest was Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, I know.
So it was really fun
I saw that one.
That
Yeah.
that Glenn got to fuck up Negan,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
Negan killed Glenn in Walking Dead, and it was real fun to see that. But yeah, also they're like, we kept Conquest alive. I'm like, you're gonna regret. Cecil is supposed to be a lot smarter than he is. They're already
Yeah.
trying to reanimate Marks. I'm like, that's stupid, and you're fucking stupid.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, something about this doesn't make any
I'm like,
sense.
that's dumb, and you're dumb.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I thought it was
And
pretty
then
interesting.
he's like, he's like, I got Conquest. I got him trapped in 4 trillion tons of bullshit with an explosion. Be like, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Cecil, you have to accept the fact that Mark is your only chance. You can't try. You can't. You're hubris. You're flying too close to the sun. And like, I don't feel like it's spoilers to say, yo, Conquest's gonna get out. Like,
no, we can see it, fam. Like we
I mean,
it.
like, right, guys? Like, I don't feel like that's being like, oh, I'm gonna tell you he escapes. Like, no. But like, if he were dead, he wouldn't be getting back. If he wasn't dead, you think he's just gonna sit there for the rest of his life?
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's Conquest. His name is
Right.
It's his name.
Yeah.
It's not his nickname. He's not his pro wrestling name.
Yeah. His legit name.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then more news from DC. This is David Corn Sweet's Superman backpack.
Ooh.
Here's a picture of James Gunn and some guy. There's Lois Lane and Caprice, as is tradition. Bateman versus Batman State Farm commercial.
That was actually pretty funny, though.
State Farm commercial just had my favorite Joker ever. Perfect. Official logo for Superman Day. That's cool. Mira's dress from Aquaman. Can't talk about that.
Good for him.
Darwin looking good, man. Which team would win in a fight? Who are these people? Go away. The Penguin. DC got nothing to talk about.
Nah, there really isn't anything. And there hasn't been much to talk about recently. I assume that we probably won't get another trailer or anything like that. I would assume probably around the same time or the same month, right? As Fantastic Four, if that is true.
Well, we're getting another Fantastic Four trailer in like 2 weeks.
Oh, we are?
I don't think we're...
Okay. Well,
we might get
that
a
one you just
full
mentioned.
fucking trailer finally for the DC Superman movie. God, I don't know, man. I don't know. Adorable. What? What? Why would you get Ezra Miller Flash tattooed on you? Why would you do this?
We all make choices.
Mickey 17 was awesome. Sorry, it says pressure on Superman to perform well ramps up after Mickey 17 flops. It was a hilariously fun movie. It had Robert Pattinson twice. He played Mickey 17 and Mickey 18.
Nice.
fears the studio's going the way of 20th Century Fox. Yeah, great. Can't wait for Disney to buy it. Oh, God. Yep. Now we're just cycling.
Yeah, looks like we've come to the end of the road here.
Well, as it turns out, all we have to look forward to is my screen's died. Daredevil.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing else going on.
I'd like another Superman. There's no other DC shit even close to coming. Maybe they're gonna do well. I hope. I have nothing but hope for DC, but like, I had hope for the prequels and the sequel trilogy too of Star Wars.
That's fair.
What does hope get you?
True,
get
man.
you a Ronin outfit and murdering fucking. Oh god, what's his name? No, not Hideo. Fuck. The guy who played Scorpion in the new Mortal Kombat, because he was also the Japanese criminal.
There's one coming out this year, right? Another Mortal Kombat. We don't need to talk about that.
The last Mortal Kombat was so categorically terrible in every conceivable fucking way that I refuse to play Mortal Kombat games anymore. Like when Mortal Kombat 1 came out,
yeah.
And like Matt was like, "Hey man, I can't wait. Are we gonna jam?" And I'm like, "No, we will not be jamming any Mortal Kombat, because the best Mortal Kombat movie ever was 1999's Mortal Kombat."
Yeah, I mean that's it, man.
And they nailed it, and then they continued to be useless and fuck it up and be irrelevant and not understand what makes Mortal Kombat awesome. And I'm telling you, it's not Liu Kang. Liu Kang is not the thing that makes Mortal Kombat awesome. It's the murder. It's so much murder. It's not the fucking magic. It's not the arcana with a K. It's murder. As long as there's murder in it, we're gonna be fine.
That's fair.
That's all I gotta say.
That's fair.
Anything else? Any other notes? Any other
no
dribs and drabs?
No, that's it for me. Start from the bottom.
Now we're done.
Still there.
Good night, everybody. Right. Watch Daredevil. Rewatch Invincible to kind of see if you like where the story's going or not.
Watch it in succession now that you can do it.
Watch Severance. If you have Amazon Prime, watch Reacher. It's fucking hilarious.